What's up everyone, Howler here, coach of your Delta Gligars. Today I'm bringing you the week 7 team builder and battle in one video for once against FeintAttacks and his Starchus from nowhere in particular. They're just the Starchus. You can see his team on the right side of the screen. I believe at this point in the season, Christian is 2-4. He's got a pretty scary team to go up against. And this build was actually quite a bit more difficult than I anticipated it to be, mainly because of this thing. Ditto is extremely annoying for me to prep for. Yeah, so we'll get into why. We'll get into why with each and every set that we have. Well, basically 5 out of the 6. Mainly Ditto's a huge problem for, but okay, so you may notice that he does not have a dark type on this team. So that is a good a reason as ever to finally bring Behemoth to a match. We can run sword power sets, cosmic power, nasty plot, double setup with recover. I have a Lumberry to cure toxic once, because I would think something like Gigalith might want to try to come in and get a toxic off on me. If I get toxic, then Behemoth cannot 1v1 the team, so I don't want that to be a thing. So we can cure it once. I was thinking about running like rest sleep talk, but I need the double boosts because I need defense boosts to be able to take hits from the Excadrill, which is most likely going to be his only resist to a psychic move. Literally his only resist to psychic is Excadrill unless he like copies me with Ditto. That's the thing. I was gonna bring like a Specs Behemoth originally, but then if Ditto comes in and copies me, what on my team switches into Specs Behemoth other than maybe the Moltres? And that's basically the main reason I had to bring Moltres. I had to bring my Dark type so that if Ditto copies this set, my Dark type walls his Behemoth, and the only way that he has a Dark type on his team is if he copies my Moltres. So, yes, a lot of thinking to be had around the Ditto in this matchup. So, if we get to +2 defense and special defense and set up 1 nasty plot, so if we get to +2 in all 3 of the stats that we're boosting, we should code the Excadrill with stored power. Because we have the analytic boost on top of that. So that's going to be the goal, is to get to +2 defense, special attack, and special defense, and then we can store power everything and knock everything out. So yeah, we have a lot of physical defense to take hits from Excadrill, and thankfully it has naturally higher special defense, so we can also potentially switch in on a Togekiss that's like offensive Togekiss that's locked into Dazzling Gleam. Should only be doing like around 40% to us, so we can recover a lot of that damage off and eventually put ourselves in a range where we can Cosmic Power up and start beating that thing. But I do not feel comfortable setting up with this thing until the Togekiss is paralyzed. Because otherwise it can just air slash flinch my Behemoth down and be really, really annoying. So that's why we have Thunder Wave on our very specially defensive Dragapult. This is our Keldeo switch in, but if the Togekiss is to want to switch in on our Dragapult, we can go for a Thunder Wave and make it so that thing is crippled, so that 25% of the time it's not going to get an attack off. I want to say if it's not speed invested, like if it's a more defensive spread of Togekiss, that after it gets paralyzed, then our Behemoth will outspeed it, but I'm not positive about that. We only need to run enough speed to outspeed his Keldeo, and yeah, so we just put max EVs into Spidef to take hits from that thing as best as possible. We can Thunder Wave most things, and then once they're paralyzed, we can hit them with Hex, or we can just U-turn out. And then Protect is here for the Ditto, because I don't want... if the Ditto for whatever reason comes in and copies my Dragapult, I can click Protect and scout what move he wants to go for. If he goes for a Thunder Wave, then a Thunder Wave or a Hex, then I have a free pivot into my Diggersby. If he goes for a U-turn, then I can just stay in with Dragapult and like he has to switch out into something else. I could potentially get U-turn switch initiative myself, something like that. So Tangrowth is going to be here. I honestly was debating about dropping Tangrowth after this week just because I haven't enjoyed using it as much. But we are going to keep it. And I should have mentioned about Beheeyem before. This is going to be Beheeyem's only match this season. In general, I didn't think that Beheeyem and Dragapult mixed very well. I don't see a reason to have both of them on the same team because Beheeyem really just, it requires very careful, like it requires a lot of gimmicks to get around dark types, and when you have a Dragapult, your opponents are always bringing their dark types. So the only reason Beheeyem gets away with coming into a game here is because we face an opponent without a dark type. So we are going to be dropping Beheeyem and picking up a Swirlix in its stead because that was the best 20-point Mon I could come up with. And so we now have two 20-point Mons on our team. And I also wanted to get rid of Caracosa and get my All-Star back because Caracosa is just garbage. So yeah, well, those two transactions will be active for week 8, and we will keep Tangrowth. So we are eject pack Tangrowth with Leaf Storm because he has two potential switch-ins to this. He can switch in Togekiss or the Galarian Slowbro. So depending on, I don't, like, if I can put one of them to sleep with Sleep Powder, and then if I can go for a Leaf Storm on anything and get switch initiative on whatever you might want to switch in. So I'll probably, when this thing hits the field first, I'll probably click Sleep Powder first, and then I'm going to want to Leaf Storm and get momentum in my favor. We also have Giga Drain so that, we can click an attack without having to click Leaf Storm if we don't want to. And Leaf Storm is nice to have because it should OHKO the Keldeo, whereas Giga Drain would not OHKO the Keldeo. And we also have Earthquake to hit his Excadrill super effectively. So, next up is this Diggersby. Diggersby is a really nice check to his Rotom because we're immune to both of its stabs, and if he wants to burn me, we're rocking the Facade. So we have Facade if we get burned, which is going to hit so many things so hard. Even if we're burned, Earthquake still has a chance to knock out Excadrill. Even if we're burned. So, taking a burn is really not the worst thing for us. We have Citrus Berry for longevity. I could run Leftovers, but that would be giving away that we are not choiced, so that could affect some of his plays. So we have Citrus Berry for longevity instead. Knockoff hits the Rotom, because otherwise Rotom would also be immune to our dual stabs. So we need coverage for that thing, and we can just getting rid of items in general is also nice. And Quick Attack is the last move. I didn't really think I needed a 4th move here. Originally I was going to run Resto Chesto, but if I get burned, I don't want to cure that. I would much rather just be clicking attacks with this Diggersby, so Quick Attack is there just in case the priority comes in handy. So Cobalion, I think, is going to be our main win con, although it's also going to be our lead. I should mention, Tangrowth, I decided not to run Sludge Bomb because, once again, if Ditto copies my Tangrowth, it's going to force a switch because I don't want to leave my own Tangrowth in to take a potential Sludge Bomb. This Tangrowth walls a Ditto that copies my Tangrowth, and I'm never forced to switch out. Okay, and then this Diggersby, if he copies it, I have Tangrowth to wall it. Okay, so Cobalion now. We are Rock Polish. We should outspeed Excadrill unless he's running Jolly Max speed, but I don't think he does that. And we should outspeed just the base 80 Mons we should outspeed them without a Rock Polish, and then once we do get the Rock Polish up, we should be outspeeding everything, and we can hit everything very, very hard. However, I am also going to be leading with this because this just matches up well against a lot of things, and it matches up well against Togekiss, and I do not switch into Togekiss. My Togekiss matchup is horrific, so that's why if he leads with the Togekiss, I want to have this Cobalion on the field so I can pressure it with Iron Head. Yeah, so and then if it's, I can pressure it with Iron Head, and if it wants to switch out, I have Volt Switch on here. I really did not want to have Volt Switch on this set. I wanted it to be a sub Rock Polish set, but because I feel like I have to use this as my lead, we are going to pack the Volt Switch, which sucks because if Ditto copies this Cobalion, then it will also have access to Volt Switch, and it may predict my Cobalion to switch out, and he could potentially get Volt Switch momentum against us too. So I don't want that to happen, but I feel like I was forced to run this type of to run Volt Switch over sub because I needed to use this as a lead. I was thinking about using my Moltres as a lead with weakness policy, just in case the Togekiss leads. I can take a Dazzling Gleam, and then if it knocks me below Berserk, and I get a weakness policy boost, so I get to +3 special attack, and I knock the Togekiss out with +3 Hurricane. But then, what happens if the fucking Ditto comes in and copies my +3 Moltres? It just annihilates me. So I can't do that. I have to run heavy duty boots instead and make sure I keep this healthy, and not necessarily keep it healthy, but just keep it around as long as I still plan to, if I still plan to set up with my Behemoth, I need to keep this Moltres at least around so that I don't get swept by my own Behemoth. Yeah, so dual stabs, U-turn for momentum, and taunt to prevent hazards from going up from Gigalith because I do not have hazard removal on this team. Tentacruel, its first match on the bench. Yeah, it just didn't do much for me here. Yes, it could try to attempt to take on Keldeo, but it really just does not like Galarian Slowbro whatsoever. I just felt like other Mons were better in this matchup than Tentacruel, so if I really wanted to, I could have found a way to make Tentacruel useful in this game, but it's good to sit it on the bench so that we guarantee it doesn't get thumbnail, and we can get some other Mons actually doing things on this team. So yeah, that's going to be our team. We'll see you right back for the battle. All right, back with the battle against FeintAttacks, aka Christian. I think I actually left this out of the I left this key piece of information out of the team builder, but the reason why that the team builder and battle are together is because we are literally playing this on the day before it's supposed to be uploaded, very late. Scheduling was, I shouldn't say it was, yeah, Ditto's here. Okay, so he actually didn't even bring Gigalith, so he just has Excadrill with Sand, potentially just as a hazard setter. Okay. Alright. So I think I'm okay with my Cobalion lead. I am writing down the team on my with a pen again. Yeah, I would have been so mad if he didn't bring Ditto because I prepped obnoxiously hard for the Ditto. Slowbro G, Togekiss, and the Rotom, which is a good thing that I prepped for the Rotom a little bit, so Diggersby is the switch into that. We go ahead and lead with our Cobalion to deter Togekiss from kicking our ass from the outset. That's the plan. Good luck and have fun to Christian. And I desperately need this game to be over. Pretty nice trainer card. Appreciate the effort. Oh my goodness, why do I just feel so tired right now? Oh, he leads with Ditto. Shit, okay. Huh. Interesting. Maybe he wanted to catch my Dragapult lead, so I have to switch out. I don't want to take a close combat. He sees that I'm Rock Polish. gonna go into Dragapult because I don't think that I can't risk Diggersby on a Volt Switch. Like, he's probably gonna click Volt Switch. I can't risk Diggersby on that. I could also go Tangrowth, but then, well, you know what? I think I do want to go Tangrowth, but then I'm going Dragapult, and then if he goes Togekiss, I'll click Thunder Wave on the Togekiss, and he can do whatever he wants. This is it. See, this is exactly why I didn't want to have Volt Switch on the Cobalion. Exactly why. But I had to. I felt like I had to. Very frustrating. If I had subbed right there, I had a free pivot into Tangrowth. If he goes for close combat, then I can, like, or I can click Sleep Powder for free. Very frustrating. I knew this was going to come back to bite me. Slowbro comes out. Why? Do you get Ice Beam? You could have Thunder Wave, I guess. Protect. I want to see what you want to do against me. Shadow Ball. Okay. I'm Spadef, so I'll paralyze you, and then you get hit very hard by Hex. I'm going to assume that you're Assault Vest. Your Shadow Ball is going to bounce off me. I can protect for Leftovers Recovery. And maybe even you turn out into my Diggersby. My Diggersby is immune to Shadow Ball. I'll protect here just to get Leftovers Recovery, assuming you stay in. Well, you might not stay in, but that's fine. If you don't stay in, that's fine. And then on the next turn, I think I'm going to U-turn if you just keep clicking Shadow Ball. Okay, so you stay in. Do you go for Shadow Ball again? You are paralyzed, okay? So I think I'm just going to U-turn here. Because I want to keep this thing somewhat healthy to switch into the Keldeo. So I'll U-turn again, or U-turn here. And if you go for Shadow Ball again, I get Diggersby in for free, and I can click... I can probably go for Knockoff. Critical hit. Doesn't really matter, because he should be in, like if he's Regenerator, he gets all that HP back anyways. He does go for Psychic this time. Great. That does a lot of damage. So now he knows we're not choiced. Could go for Earthquake, I mean, but I think I'm just gonna Earthquake, because if he switches into something other than Rotom, I can just knock off the Rotom in the next turn. I don't really care if he goes Rotom here. Yeah, so I think this has to be like max special attack to have done that much. So he's probably like max special attack Assault Vest. Like, I want to go for Earthquake here instead of a knockoff, because if he switches in Keldeo, then I get a lot of damage off against that. No, he went Togekiss instead. Ah, I hate this Mon. This Mon's annoying. What do I do against this? Can I knock off? Facade, just for a little bit of damage. No, I'm gonna go hard Cobalion. I don't think this is the best play in the world, but I don't want Diggersby to take this hit. Ooh, good thing I went hard Cobalion. Nasty plot. So we can outspeed. So I have to click Iron Head here. I have to click Iron Head for sure. There's no way I don't have a switch in. I don't have a switch in. So nasty plot or Iron Head it is. I would have considered clicking Volt Switch if he just went for an attack. Babiri, that's fine. We have a chance to flinch you, and I think we might be able to KO you if we do flinch you. Alright. So, this is not good. That's an Oko. And that was a crit. Not sure if that mattered or not, to be honest. This is a big problem for me. Huge problem for me. He's definitely, if he has just a bit of speed investment, he'll outspeed my Diggersby. If he's +2, he probably KOs this with Dazzling Gleam. I'm gonna go into Moltres and hope that I live a hit. Well, I should be faster, actually. I should be faster, and I just hope that I land Hurricane, and or hope that I live. And if I land Hurricane and die, then maybe I can pick this off with Dragapult Hex. I also have a chance to confuse this thing if I land the Hurricane and maybe he doesn't even get an attack off, which would be ideal. See, I just don't get. I don't get why he didn't bring in Togekiss on the Dragapult. And like, why did he go Slowbro on Dragapult? Okay, we outspeed and land Hurricane, which is good. It's a 2-hit KO, and he does get confused. Is he gonna hit himself? Doesn't hit himself, but he doesn't have Dazzling Gleam, so that's going to give us Berserk. Okay, so we're Fiery Wrath probably doesn't kill this, but I think I would. I don't think Fiery Wrath would kill this because it's resisted, but if he goes into Dragapult's not going to kill this. If a Quick Attack might though. I'll go for Hurricane. If I miss, I'll bring in Diggersby and Quick Attack. He switched. Okay, I'm fine with that. Something's going to take a +1. His Ditto's going to take +1 Hurricane, hopefully. See, this is if I missed and Moltres went down, then the positive thing about... Yes! Big damage. Huge damage. Okay. So, he's going to get +2 attack now, though. Oh, no. How do I beat... I don't beat this. I don't beat this Mon. I don't beat this Mon. He could miss Hurricane, and I could land my Hurricane, so I'm gonna just go for it again. I don't... He does connect. Okay. So he's at +2. I can't. Obviously, I'm not going Behemoth. Obviously not going Tangrowth. I could go this and click Thunder Wave, but then I can't touch it. I have to go Diggersby. And regardless, I need to hope that he misses. Or switches out. Maybe he wants to save Ditto in case he misses Hurricane. That was a good... Fuck, that was a good play, actually, going hard into this Ditto. Oh my god, this is destroying. I hate Ditto. I knew Ditto was so fucking annoying for this team. My only hope is... you know what? Okay, he has limited PP. Has limited PP, so if I go Dragapult and click Protect, then I can start setting up. With Behemoth in front of this thing once it runs out of PP. So he has 3 Hurricanes left, and his fucking Togekiss is not paralyzed, so it can air slash flinch me to death still. So you've seen Thunder Wave, U-turn, and Protect. You don't know my... Oh my god, he switched it out. Okay. Goes Excadrill. So I can U-turn out on this and go into Tangrowth. So he still has Ditto to copy my Behemoth. But that is, at this point, it is what it is. Like if he beats me with the Ditto as Behemoth, then so be it. Okay, we go Tangrowth, and he still has all 6 of his mons. Shadow Claw, okay. We obviously are going to take that. Life Orb Excadrill. I could go for nothing. So Slowbro's paralyzed. I can't put that to sleep. I can set up on Slowbro though. Togekiss. If Togekiss comes in, I want that put to sleep. This being asleep is also fine. You go Slowbro, that's fine. I can set up with Behemoth in front of the Slowbro. I think I do want to save. this though. I'll just go into Dragapult and click Hex against this. I can, if for whatever reason, I could have clicked Earthquake if I wanted to. I also could have like got Leaf Storm, Jetpack Momentum, but if he went, yeah, that's what I should have done. Click Leaf Storm. It is what it is though. I don't think he can't knock me out with Shadow Ball, so I'll click Hex here. He should live, and then I can U-turn. But I want to set up on this, so I don't want to knock this out, right? I can click U-turn here, and maybe I get Switch Initiative too. Yes. What did he go into? Excadrill. Okay, back into Tangrowth. Back into Tangrowth, and this time I Leaf Storm. Yeah. This time I Leaf Storm. And if he goes into the Slowbro again, then I get free pivot into my Beheeyem. Free pivot into Beheeyem to start setting up. Or I could potentially just KO this thing. If he goes into Togekiss, I got momentum into Dragapult to pick off Togekiss with Hex. Okay, so we've changed Shadow Claw on this, so that could potentially crit our Beheeyem through defense boost. Okay, so this time he goes Togekiss. I need this Leaf Storm to hit. It does. So nice and eject pack. Out into Dragapult and click Hex to knock this thing out. What I don't want him to do is sack Slowbro here. I want him to sack this. Please just let this die. I need you to let this die so that you can't flinch me to death. You've seen my full moveset now as well. Fuck. And the Keldeo. Okay, well I can still paralyze this. Leftovers Keldeo, so you're probably sub Keldeo. I can still paralyze this. Paralyzing this is gonna help. And if you get, see, unless you have Icy Wind, I don't think you can knock me out. That's a big misplay by him because I have Infiltrator, so I'm gonna knock this out now. And my Dragapult is just getting healthier and healthier. I think this might be a kill for Dragapult. Just barely lives, but he's fully parried, so I'll take that as well. And we just get more. We would just get even more leftovers recovery. So I imagine he lets this die now. And what does he go into after? If he goes Excadrill, I U-turn into Tangrowth. Togekiss cannot switch in on A grass should not be able to switch in on a grass attack from Tangrowth anymore. Even though this started off horribly for us, we might still have a chance to win. We also have an advantage in the timer as well, so we gotta continue to click our moves fast. And that could be a potential win con. If we can just sit in front of things with Beheeyem for long enough. So Keldeo dies. Keldeo dies. He honestly doesn't have much. He doesn't have much to bring in. So he could go into Rotom, and Rotom could be Scarfed. Sorry, I need a drink of water there. Rotom could be Scarfed. I'll click Protect on Rotom. If Rotom comes in. If Slowbro comes in, well, I don't think Slowbro would come in, but I don't want to knock out Slowbro if Slowbro comes in. He goes Excadrill. Okay, so we U-turn out on this. He has very little time left. So we go Tangrowth and we click a grass move so that Togekiss cannot come in. Shadow Claw again. We're going to take Life Orb Chip. Giga Drain. I don't want to lower my special attack and hope that I don't want to lower my special attack and maybe Togekiss actually lives a Giga Drain from me, or any sort of hit from me, because I don't have Eject Pack anymore. At no point am I clicking Earthquake. If he goes Slowbro here, Zoot. He goes Rotom. I'll take damage on this gladly. It's going to do a good chunk. It's a solid 3-hit KO. Yes, you have free Shadow Ball here, but I'm getting Giga Drain. I could click Leaf Storm and knock this thing out outright. He might end up losing the timer here, honestly. I can think about this because I have a clear timer advantage. Do I think Shadow Ball would 2-hit KO me even with Giga Drain recovery? You know what? It's fine. It's fine. If this dies and he goes Togekiss, I can put this to sleep. He actually Volt Switches. I can put Togekiss to sleep if Togekiss comes in and tries to set up on me, because so it probably doesn't even have Dazzling Gleam. It's Nasty Plot, Air Slash, Flamethrower, and then Roost. So at least I can try to get a sleep off on it and then go into Dragapult, click Hex. Actually just goes back into Excadrill. And we go for Leaf Storm, and this probably knocks it out. So down goes Drill. Okay, so back into... So he goes Slowbro now. So Earthquake should not knock this out. He has 8 seconds left. He's going to lose the timer. And Shadow Ball predicting Dragon Ball to come out. So I'm fine, honestly, knocking this thing out now because, yeah, he ran out of time. He lost the game. So it's a 3-0 win. I think that should go down as a 3-0 win. Oh boy. That's the first time that either myself or my opponent have ran out of time. And I'm very fortunate that he did, because I'm not sure if I could have pulled that one out. Of course, in the only game that Behemoth is going to see, the only game that Behemoth gets brought to this entire season, it doesn't even hit the field. Although I was relying on it to hit the field and win the game for me. Jesus. So yeah, that was not a well-played game on my part whatsoever. I think there were a lot of misplays that I made, to be honest. I think it's for me, it started for turn one. I was put on the back foot immediately because I gave him the Volt Switch momentum into the well, he actually went into Slowbro when I thought he would have gone Togekiss. Yeah, so like, that's exactly what I didn't want to happen, and I also knew that if Ditto copied Moltres, that it was going to be a huge problem. I just am grateful that he decided to switch Moltres out. I mean, yeah, so like, my hope at that point was Dragapult protects. Dragapult protects, I can switch out into something else, keep Dragapult, and then have Dragapult to like stall out Hurricane turns, because at least I'm so rattled right now because I'm not happy with the way that game went, even though we are coming away with a 3-0 win. If Moltres ran out of Hurricane PP, or his Ditto ran out of Hurricane PP, then I can go into Behemoth and start setting up, and he doesn't get to come in as Moltres again, and he doesn't get to wall my Behemoth anymore. But unfortunately, he still had the Togekiss around with air/flinching shenanigans because I was not able to get it paralyzed. He could have come back in as Ditto and got and potentially destroyed me with stored power. I would have just have to recover spam to hope to live. And oh my god, yeah, that was an ugly game. But I'll gladly take the win, because when we hit week 7 last season, the second half of the season, I really tanked it hard. So to start off the second half of the season with a win, even though it was an ugly win, I will take it. So yeah. GG to Christian. I think it would have been I would have liked to see how that game played out if the timer wasn't a factor, but I think we still might have had a chance to win. We probably don't win it 3-0, but Behemoth might have still been able to win if I played my cards right. I'm not too sure, but yeah, you gotta pay attention to the timer on Gen 8 Wi-Fi these days. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel for more Draft League content, and we'll be back next week with a separate team builder and battle against Mario B and the Roll Street Rillaboom. So until then, see you later.